this year's theme is Action for the Next Generation, and it's so exciting. I hope that you guys are all ready for an amazing week. My name is Avery. I am the IYC president. We're just going to try and get started right now to get our show on the road. But like I was saying, I'm the IYC president. I'm born and raised here on unceded Algonquin territory in Ottawa. I am so excited to be here. This is my second summit, and the vibes this week are going to be immaculate. So please soak up every second that you have, connect with your neighbors, and I want to give it over to my co-MC to introduce himself.
Hi, folks. My name is Talon Firebird. Thank you. Yes. Woo! Woo! I'm here all week. No, I'm just kidding. I just want to thank you guys so much for coming out again. Once again, for everybody standing by the door. I know it feels cool to be off to the sides, but please join us. Grab a seat. There's some empty chairs over there in the corner. Fill them up. If you see somebody sitting beside themselves, don't be shy. We're all friends here, probably cousins. We'll figure that out all later. With that being said, I just want to welcome you guys to the Urban Indigenous Youth Summit. We're going to do so much good stuff here. In the other room, we have the crafts going on. We're going to have a whole bunch of cool stuff today. It's so beautiful to see everybody come from where they come from and bring what they have and all the knowledge and just share everything. Right, Jocelyn? Absolutely. And I also forgot my toothbrush today, and they have toothbrush sets at the front desk. So don't be shy, legit. I feel like anything you need, it's literally just one ask away. And they're not cheap toothbrushes. So it all works out. Thank you so much for having me. Once again, my name is Talon Firebird. We're going to have a great week today. I hope you guys signed up for some awesome workshops. There's so many good things coming from all over different friendship centers all over Canada. And don't forget, although this is might be PowerPoint pastries and stuff, it might be just a business trip for some people, but at the end of the day, it's all about coming together and strengthening our communities. And by that unity and just taking the first step, you guys are already in the right place. So give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much.
So with that being said, we're going to start our summit off in a good way and invite Elder Claudette Commanda, who is an Algonquin Anishinaabe from Kitigan-Zibi, Anishinaabeg, who has dedicated the last 35 years to promoting First Nations peoples' history, culture, and rights. We also would like to invite Senator Rita Gordon, a founding member of our Métis Nation of Ontario, who has been actively sharing Métis culture throughout her life.
All right, so Kwe Sheba, Minogishagun, good morning. Now that's more like it. Otherwise, I was going to send you guys back out there and go get another cup of Starbucks coffee to wake you up, right? But we're all together, and you could feel the excitement as soon as you walk into this hotel. You can really feel the excitement of community. And as you come around the corner, the excitement heightens. And as you walk into this room now, it's just so much good energy. And you really could feel the love of our people, the love for one another, the love for this day, the zest for life, and of course, a good breakfast, right? Right? Do they not say that good food, good coffee is what really warms the heart, right? Right. Well, you guys are lucky you drink coffee. For me, I came here, I was all excited, and I told these beautiful people at the table, these elders, I said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go and get my Kokum Power. And my Kokum Power is a good cup of strong Nabishwa Bo, a good strong cup of black tea. Raise your hands for all of us who love our tea. Right on. Oh, there's quite a bit of us. That's right. Okay. Tea is the fountain of youth, I can tell you that. Although, look at me, I don't look like the fountain of youth, but anyhow. Humor is good medicine as well. Laughter is good medicine. And I'm very happy to be here in the presence of our chief, as well as our community members of the Algonquin, Kitigan-Zibi Anishinaabe Nation. And I'm always equally proud to be in the presence of my Algonquin relatives from the other communities like Jackaloop and others. So let's begin in this good way. I'm very honored and proud to be here to bring forth what I call a welcome blessing. And I want to thank these marvelous MCs. Wow, you guys are the best. You are, right? I mean, I know this is Avery because I've known her ever since she was very little. And I like this Mr. Toon Squad.
Me too.
Just so much enthusiasm and brilliance. And it's, you look around the room and you see the youth, and that really warms the heart when we see how our youth are so actively involved. So congratulations to you, the youth, and your voice. To the elders who are here, I'm always honored and so happy to come together again in that circle to see those elders. And so Chimi Wedge for inviting me to be here with you, and you know I love you. And I have seen and witnessed these elders in their advocacy and in the walk and their commitment to the Friendship Center movement for the communities and for our people. And here they are sitting here with their knowledge and their wisdom and their experience that we have so much to learn from. So whenever I'm in the company of these elders, trust me, I really feel truly blessed. And I love each and every one of you. To all of you community members, some of you I know, some of you I get to know now, because whenever we come together in that circle, it's all about peace and friendship and building community, So those that are in the audience of the First Nations and the Inuit and the Métis, thank you for being here. We begin this way in the protocols that was taught to me by my relatives, and especially my grandfather, the late William Commanda, who many of you knew during his lifetime. And whenever we come together, whether we are in our homes or when we are away from our homes and we are in our land, we must always welcome visitors into our homeland. And we must do this welcome even before we raise our hearts and our voices in prayer. Mi gwejnichki wedug, anishnabeg, ikwewag, ininiwag. Mi gwejki bija yegoma nongum, pijajikoma anishnabe eki o mama weniniwag. Bienvenue à tous et toutes mes amis, mes frères, mes sœurs. Bienvenue ici à le territoire non cédé de nos ancêtres à la nation algonquine. On behalf of the Algonquin communities, our Algonquin nation, our ancestors, we welcome you, brothers and sisters, into this beautiful homeland of our ancestors and of our people. Whenever we invite or welcome visitors into our homeland, we must always give a blessing. And when people come into our home, and we all know this as Anishinaabe people, when people come into our home, what is the first thing we say? Bindigan, namadabin, giwiwisinen, kiniminekwe, ne, nimitwe nibishwabo. We invite you into our home and we say to you, make yourself welcome, come on in. Make yourself comfortable. We're going to give you something to eat, something to drink. I don't have food to feed you or a cup of tea, but the food that I will give you is this blessing, this next blessing, what we always give to anyone who comes into our home, even if it is a relative, a family member. We give that blessing to make sure that you are safe, healthy, you return home safely to your family, to your home, and we will all come back together again in a visit to welcome one another, to greet one another again. So, my friends, at this time, we are going to say words to the Creator. We're going to thank the Creator for His love. We're going to thank the Creator for all of His blessings. We're going to acknowledge our ancestors. We're going to acknowledge our relatives in the spirit world. We're going to acknowledge all those spirit helpers that have been here since time immemorial to help us in our human walk here in this physical world. We will lift our hearts and our voice and our minds together as one to ask the Creator, the grandmothers and the grandfathers, to bless your summit, to bless the work that you are doing as friendship centers. We will give greetings to one another in that good way from our heart. We will show that kindness and that love to one another when we will ask the Creator to uphold us with strength, wisdom, and love. And to those of you who want to rise to stand for this prayer, you're welcome. For those that want to remain seated, please remain seated. We do not impose our ways on anyone, but we do welcome everyone into our circle of prayer. And I ask at this time to give your prayer in the way that you believe, in the way that you are comfortable. And if you have a prayer for a family member, for a loved one, a friend, a colleague, who needs healing, who needs comfort, say your prayer. Because we know when we gather, our prayers are so strong. And we know, Creator hears our heart, hears our prayers. And if you have a prayer for yourself, give that prayer too as well. Say your prayer. The Creator has blessed us with that power of communication of the heart. The Creator has blessed us with that power of communication with spirit. The Creator has blessed us with life. And the Creator has shown us the importance of love. And to love oneself, we can love others too as well. Miigwej kishiminado kichimigwej kinakego chimigwej. Anabagis kokumisag, anabagis mishomsag, das pinigen. Nibuksendam onje kakina nongum, mashkawizin. Gishiminado kichimigwej onje. Mishomis kizis, kokumis dipakizis, ashish jojoiki. Miigwej unje nibi aki nodin ashish ishkode. Chimigwej unje atsokan anishnabeg ashish ni jenwen dagnago mama weniniwag chimigwej. Ni buksendam gishiminado ni buksendam unje kakina nongo mashishwabang. Mana jito wawin, ni bakawin, chimino, pimadzuin. Miigwej kishiminato onje kizagiyeduin, miigwej. Creator, as we come together as brothers and sisters in this circle of prayer, we put our hearts, our spirit, and our voice together as one. And we thank you for all of your creations, all of your creations. As we give honor and thanks for our Mother the Earth, for all that she's provided, from that water life, the plant life, the medicine, the trees, and our relatives, the animals. And we thank you, Creator, for the creations, all of your creations. We acknowledge, Creator, and we say thank you to the grandparents whom you've blessed all peoples of the world with. Our grandfather, the sun, who warms our life each and every day with his breath. We thank you for our grandmother, the moon, who shines her light, so we may see our sister, the stars, each and every night, and that the bloodline of Mother Earth continues to flow. We thank our Mother, the Earth, for her love and her kindness, and may we show that responsibility to her, to respect her, and to respect her waters. Creator, as we acknowledge all our ancestors and those ancient spirits who have been with us since time immemorial, we thank you, Creator, and we ask that they provide the wisdom, the knowledge, the strength, and the protection for the gathering that is here today, for the minds and the hearts and the souls. And Creator, we acknowledge our relatives who are in the spirit world, and we give thanks to them for their love, as we thank our ancestors for their prayers. Creator, together as one, we lift our hearts and we say a prayer to those that need comfort and healing, and you know who they are, Creator. And we ask you, Creator, that you send our love to all those that need to feel that love. And Creator, we thank you for the precious gift of our children. And may we walk this road in a good way, with kindness and love to one another, to do the good work for our communities, so our children will have a bright future, and for our children to always have their place in our communities, in our nations, and our societies. And may we learn from our children, who are the strength of our love. Creator, we thank you for good health. Nibuksenda monje minupamadzwe nonje kakina nichkiwe dogeshishnabeg. We thank you, Creator, and it is my prayer and a blessing for all who are here, Creator, that you bless them with that good health in heart, spirit, mind, and physical. We thank you, Creator, for hearing our prayer, for hearing our voice. And Creator, may this meeting today and the good work that the Friendship Centers are doing today and tomorrow continue to be on that foundation of the greatest gift that you have blessed all of us with, love, Zagie Duin. We love you, Creator, as we love our ancestors, as we love our families, we love our nations, our communities, and as we love our relatives in the spirit world. And we love you, Creator, in the same way that we love all our spirit helpers, and we give thanks to those spirit helpers. Chimigwaj kishimanado kichimigwaj onje kiniwin emiawin ashish niniwin emiawin miigwaj. Thank you. Miigwaj, thank you, and I know you're going to have a good day. Good spirits are here. You can feel them, good energy. Keep up the good work, and just remember, when the going gets tough, and I know that each and every one of us, no matter the title we hold and no matter the work that we do, sometimes it gets tough, right? Sometimes we have those moments of hardship. But I always reflect on what those old people always said. Pray. Prayer is powerful, and Creator is always listening. And hope is free. Hope is free. And let's always carry that hope. Carry that hope for our children today and tomorrow. And it pleases my heart that in this meeting, you have little children here, and that's so beautiful, because that's what community is all about. Community. Mama we. Mama we. Bimuse. Together we walk in unity, in love, peace, and friendship. I love each and every one of you. Miigwech, thank you. Keep up the good work.
coming together as young people and coming together on speaking about implementing and, creating new things to help better the lives of young people. It's important to remember that, but it's also important to remember the guidance and the strength and the love and all the teachings that come from our elders as well as our community. So I really appreciate every single one of you being here and sharing with us and, expanding our knowledge and our skill sets as young people here. Because, urban Indigenous youth is a lot different from on communities, and I know we all know that. I know we tend to keep a lot of these things in our back of our head, and we fail to realize that we have institutions that that are supposed to be out here supporting and bringing us to a better path. And it's just, we can't forget about that. We can't forget about our communities on reserve, and we can't forget about our communities off reserve. So it's very important work. Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you so much, Claudette. Where did Avery go? Oh. Awesome. Almost had to chase down a chief there. I need a check. No, I'm just kidding. I need a house. No, I'm kidding. Beautiful stuff. And then over here, we have the fires going and everything like that. So please, if you can't see over in the corner, come by and check it out. Very beautiful stuff, very beautiful culture, and it just strengthens the unity of all of us coming here together. Always remember that.
Thank you, Kelly, for welcoming us in such a good way. I'm going to turn it over to someone who needs no introduction, but I guess I'll give her one anyway. Jocelyn Formsma is our CEO of NAFC, and she is the backbone over here. We were just talking, and last year, Jocelyn and I, we were like this, back to back every week. We were seeing each other, going to all the events, and then all of a sudden, I've taken such a long, I don't know, have separation anxiety, so get over here. But welcome, and please welcome Jocelyn Formsma to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Wache Misawe, Shwebanish Nishnakasun, Muskri Nitoschin. So great to see everybody here. This is the second time that we've done this. The first time we were on a wing and a prayer. Now we're on two wings and two prayers. But the importance of us gathering in a place that didn't require us to conduct business first was something we've heard from Friendship Centers for a really long time. The opportunity to share, and like Kelly had mentioned with the logo, when this idea of berries came to us as our logo, as we know, coming together in ceremony, harvesting berries is really universal for a lot of Indigenous cultures, whether you're in the north, Inuit, Métis, all across the Métis homelands, First Nations from the west coast to the north to the east coast and everywhere in between. It's something we do is that time of year we know it's time to collect, it's time to harvest, and it's time to share. And that's really what we want this conference to be, or the summit. It's the largest gathering that I'm aware of that's focused solely on urban Indigenous. And we felt that was really important because we constantly feels like we're fighting for a spot at the table. We're constantly fighting for a voice. We're constantly waving our hands in the air saying, don't forget about us, don't forget about the people that we serve every day. And it can get really tiring. And so it's really important for us to create a space for ourselves and to come together to uplift each other, to listen to each other, to share ideas, and really spark that inspiration and that we learn a little bit of something so that we go home feeling stronger and ready to take on that next battle. We called the theme Action for the Next Generation because we, as Friendship Centers, have always had a strong youth engagement principle. That's how I was recruited in. I wasn't just, sitting around waiting for a board of directors to sit on at 18 years old. It was something the Friendship Center said, hey, young person, you have something to contribute to this community. We're going to make sure you have everything you need to participate. We want your voice, we want your ideas, and we'll make sure that we make space and help you get there. What we did this year is all of our panels, all of our keynotes, everything is all being done by our youth. So we've done some training with our young people on facilitation, and like many other conferences, we could have had a whole series of facilitators and consultants and people that do this for a living. Instead, we said we will put our resources into building the capacity of our young people. We trust them, we believe in them, we know that they'll do a good job for us. And even if they're not maybe as polished as somebody who's been doing it for 30 years, they're going to learn, and we're going to be kind with them as we help them through this. And when they leave here, they'll have this experience, and that's something that they can do for the next one that says, hey, do you know somebody who can MC a conference? Or do you know somebody who can facilitate this meeting? We have a whole crew now that's trained up and ready to go. So it was the importance of making sure we're investing in our young leaders. And a lot of the work that we're doing, it's not just sitting and listening and just getting presentations, but there's a lot of workshops where we're actually kind of putting you to work and coming out of it with an action plan on some of these things. So it's not just about the work that we're doing every day, it's how can we make sure that all of your work, we as the national office can take it the next step further, make sure you have resources to do what you got to do, and it's just really important for us that anything that we're doing, I call it mapping it to the ground. It has to matter to the people that walk through the doors of a friendship center. It has to matter to the people that are experiencing these issues firsthand, and certainly as the national office, we want to be there to support you, to amplify your voices, and to help make sure the next generation's trained up and ready to take on your roles when you're ready to retire. Hopefully for some of you it's not yet, but we know that time's coming for a lot of it, and we have to be active in training our next generation of leaders. I want to thank our sponsors. I'll mention Castlemaine, Argyle. We have Jeff here. Argyle's been one of our communications partners from the beginning of the COVID campaigns that we've been doing. They've helped us get our name and amplify our work across the country on many types of media, and even the US. Like, somebody saw one of our COVID ads on CNN, and they're like, how did we get there? Well, Argyle helped us do that. I want to thank Indigenous Services, ESDC, Wage. If the ISK folks want to give a wave, it's okay, we're friendship centers. They came to listen, to spend time with you, to learn more, and I encourage you to share with them your stories, because I have to say in ISK, we've built a really good relationship, and they really do take what we say and are champions on the inside of government. Are there any folks from ESDC here? I know some of them are going to show up throughout the week. Wage? No? Okay. They've registered, they're going to be coming. Yeah. But they are also folks who have contributed to making sure that we can gather and hold space for each other. So I'm going to get off this stage because I want you to hear from one of my mentors and an amazing trailblazer within the Friendship Center movement, Edith Cloutier, and then our intergenerational panel after that. But thank you so much for being here, taking time from your lives, your work, your families, to be here, and I'm confident at the end of this week you'll go home going, I really want to do that again. So thank you all.
The first item on our summit agenda is our keynote. So Edith Cloutier is going to come give her keynote address, which is so lovely. She's the executive director of the Val-d'Or Native Friendship Center and secretary of the NAFC Board of Directors. As you'll know from the program, Edith has been a visionary leader within the Friendship Center movement for over 40 years. Y'all, that's a long time, 40 years. So today she's coming up here to share with us what she feels that the community is driven for urban Indigenous governance will look like and the new era of the Friendship Center movement. So please put your hands together and let's welcome Edith to the stage.
Kwe, hello, bonjour to elders, senators of the NAFC, Chief White Duck, representatives of the government, Madame Présidente, executive board members of the NAFC, dignitaries, fellow colleagues of the Native Friendship Center movement, special guests, friends. I first wish to acknowledge our ancestors for the hospitality on the Anishinaabe territory, a land occupied for thousands of years, an unceded territory, a land that carries a still vibrant tradition, language, and culture. I am very honored to be here with all of you on this occasion and to be asked to be the keynote speaker. And I was sharing with my dear friend Vera that it's the first time in my life that I am a keynote speaker. It's happening here with my people. So, Miigwech, Jocelyn, the NAFC, for the kind invitation, and thank you for organizing this incredible summit. But before I begin, I want to tell you about my friend Victor. In 2017, on Mother's Day, I was presented with this eagle feather by Victor. He is an Anishinaabe from Rapid Lake, but has been living in Val-d'Or for many years. When he handed me this sacred feather, he told me, I am giving you this eagle feather that has been handed down for the last 40 years. He says, because you helped me with my sobriety. Victor, a gifted traditional man, has been struggling with his addiction and living on the streets of Val-d'Or for the past 10 years. So yesterday morning, I stopped at Tim Hortons to get my coffee for my drive here to Ottawa. And there was my friend Victor standing outside at the door, his usual spot. We always have our daily chat. And yesterday, I told him I was going to be a keynote. I was going to be a speaker for this national summit of friendship centers, and that I was going to talk about our community, of our people. He then told me, you make sure you talk to them about us, and don't forget your eagle feather. It was his way of reminding me of the strength the eagle feather would give me for this presentation, and to keep in my heart my people while I speak today. And as usual, when we parted, he shouts to me, love you, my sister, and say hello to your husband, Paul, for me. So there, I am holding my promise to my friend Victor, and I will tell you all about our community. The Friendship Center family is a good place to be. I know I have been part of it most of my life. First as a child, in the early 70s, discovering this community center for Indians downtown Val-d'Or with my grandfather, who was then on the board of directors of this newly founded Friendship Center. Then later in my teens, at 15 years old, I got my very first summer job in the kitchen which was washing the dishes and helping the cook. And I have a little anecdote here. The cook was my Aunt Irene, and Irene is Victoria Marchand's grandmother. And Victoria, she's right here. She's a policy analyst at NAFC. My little cousin. First time we meet in person today. I'm glad. So in 1989, when I graduated from university at 23, I was asked to put my name in for the position of executive director, and I got the job. So being ED in the Val-d'Or Indigenous Friendship Center is my first and only permanent job in the past 34 years. My CV has 1 page. So one thing led to another, and this job enabled me to explore different avenues and, above all, to play an active role in the recognition of urban Indigenous communities in Quebec. My duties have led me to sit on numerous boards and committees, such as the Board of Quebec Native Women's Association, to be president of the Regroupement des Centres d'Amitié Autochtones du Québec, to be an urban voice at the table of the Assembly of First Nations of Quebec and Labrador, and to participate in various social and political forums, and gradually to become a strong advocate of urban Indigenous peoples in Québec. Je suis née de mère Anishinaabe et de père québécois. J'ai principalement grandi dans la famille de ma mère, c'est-à-dire dans ma famille Anishinaabe élargie. Conséquemment, j'ai été fortement influencée par cette culture, cette identité qui représente pour moi un univers de femmes fortes et engagées. J'ai grandi au milieu d'une génération de femmes qui avaient perdu leur statut parce qu'elles avaient marié un non-indien et elles ont milité activement pour le retrouver. À cette époque, ma mère, mes tantes, mes cousines se sont rendues ici, à Ottawa, sur la colline, avec d'autres milliers de femmes pour dénoncer des situations d'injustice, de racisme et de discrimination. C'était une génération de femmes qui luttaient pour préserver leur identité autochtone, préserver l'identité autochtone de leurs enfants, de leurs petits-enfants, de leurs petits-petits-enfants. Ce contexte a été très important dans mon parcours. Les actions des femmes de ma famille et de celles de plusieurs autres par la suite m'ont plongé dans ces enjeux de justice sociale et d'égalité à un très jeune âge. Aujourd'hui encore, ce désir ardent de justice continue de m'habiter. Le mouvement des centres d'amitié autochtones m'a offert un espace citoyen et un ancrage identitaire à partir desquels je peux agir librement et d'être en phase avec mes valeurs et mes convictions, avec comme dessein de contribuer à bâtir un véritable projet de société autochtone urbain dans ma ville et pourquoi pas au Québec, à l'échelle du Québec et à l'échelle du Canada. Les centres d'amitié ne sont pas que des carrefours de services. Ils sont devenus, avec le temps, des institutions d'influence, des interlocuteurs privilégiés qui occupent une place particulière entre les communautés et les gouvernements. Pour des milliers d'Autochtones, la ville est devenue une composante structurante de leur existence. L'époque où la présence dans une ville était associée à la perte de son identité et de sa culture est désormais révolue. L'action des centres d'amitié notre action collective, a été au cœur de ce changement sociétal. Time to switch your... Native Friendship Centers pursue the mission of improving quality of life of Indigenous people living in urban settings and offer services that meet their specific needs, including cultural and spiritual needs. Through its collective action, the movement was successful at building unique and strong foundations on which Indigenous identity in the city is manifest. Friendship Center have become the largest and most significant urban Indigenous service delivery infrastructure in Canada by providing access to a range of health, justice, housing, educational, employment, early childhood, cultural and traditional wrap-around services that are culturally safe for our people. The main motivation of this collective effort for the betterment of our people is the conviction that our actions contribute to making a difference. Making a difference means that sustained efforts are made to bring change in a positive way. Making a difference means fighting on a daily basis against systemic racism and social exclusion. It also means promoting equity and social justice to all. Making a difference is about taking care of each other, just like we did in Friendship Centers during the pandemic and last summer's wildfires episode. Friendship Centers are resilient, caring, and audacious. We are audacious organizations. Among the 7 secret teachings, Moko, the bear, represents courage. For my people, the bear is a healer and a protector. Our Friendship Center family is like the Bear Clan, a clan that protects, heals, and finds courage to transform hardship into opportunity. Frontline workers, directors, community organizers, social workers, board members have forged the destiny of this movement through their work, their convictions, and leadership. Together, coast to coast to coast, we, people from the grassroots, are the driving force of the new era of Friendship Centers in these exciting times of global change. As a collective, we carry the vision of advancing an urban Indigenous societal project that takes root in values dear to Friendship Centers, such as inclusion, solidarity, and respect. After more than 60 years of existence, our movement succeeded in creating modern and innovative Indigenous communities, the blueprint of an urban Indigenous societal project in Canada. As Professor David Newhouse underlines, and I quote, "One of the central desires of modern Indigenous society is to use ideas from Indigenous cultural and intellectual traditions to build better lives, better families, clan and houses, leaders, communities, and nations." Looking back at how Friendship Centers have impacted so many lives, mine included, it is not an understatement to say that this movement has contributed directly to building Indigenous modernity in Canada. Les centres d'amitié autochtones rassemblent les gens, créent un milieu de vie égalitaire et offrent un ancrage culturel pour tous nos frères et sœurs. Artisans de la réconciliation, nos centres sont aussi des symboles de paix, d'harmonie et de solidarité. Le cœur de nos centres d'amitié vibre au rythme de la vitalité de nos communautés. Des communautés innovantes et entreprenantes qui œuvrent à mettre de l'avant un modèle de gouvernance communautaire, autochtone, urbain. Concrètement, c'est en dirigeant la destinée de nos communautés, notamment en matière de mieux-être, de santé, d'habitation, d'éducation, de lutte à la pauvreté et d'exclusion, que les centres d'amitié manifestent leur autonomie, leur autodétermination et leur gouvernance. Ce à quoi notre mouvement aspire, c'est de se positionner en tant qu'interface communautaire et citoyenne. Les centres d'amitié ont créé des lieux où les membres des premiers peuples sont libres de se manifester dans leur spécificité et se définir sur les plans identitaires, culturels et politiques, comme communauté en ville. Les centres d'amitié déploient une gamme de services qui se modulent à la réalité contemporaine et urbaine des communautés, de nos communautés qui sont en mouvement. Le modèle de gouvernance communautaire autochtone mis de l'avant par les centres d'amitié favorise une trajectoire de développement qui repose sur une visée décolonisée des services, c'est-à-dire par la prise en compte et la revitalisation des manières autochtones d'être et de comprendre le monde. Le mouvement incarne la modernité autochtone au Canada. Aujourd'hui, les centres d'amitié s'imposent comme des acteurs incontournables de cette modernité et proposent une vision d'inclusion et de réconciliation pour un changement global équitable pour tous. In 1985, the NAFC held its annual General Assembly in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. That year coincided with the United Nations International Youth Year. Friendship Centers were granted funding to organize its first youth forum, a successful gathering of 200 young Indigenous persons involved in their local friendship centers across Canada. I was honored to be invited to attend this historical event, an invitation from the executive director of the Val-d'Or Native Friendship Center. To this day, I am grateful to Dominic Rankin, the ED at the time, who provided me with this incredible opportunity. Dominic, now a senator of the NAFC, a medicine man, a spiritual leader, became throughout the years one of my lifelong mentor, guide, teacher, and true friend. But thinking back at this event today, some 38 years ago, now you know my age, it's amazing to think that most of the NAFC leadership, staff, Friendship Center, EDs, and volunteers, well, they were all young women and men in their early 30s. So still today, the singularity of our movement is the strong and rooted youth participation and involvement at local, provincial, national, and now international levels. Friendship centers keep the flame alive despite funding issues and continue to nourish the passions, hopes, and dreams of our younger generation. These contemporary Indigenous leaders are today's driving energy of modern Indigenous society. I've witnessed the sharpness, the eloquence, the intelligence of young women like Avery Dockstader, our youth council president, Samantha Jack, the newly elected youth executive, and our own CEO, NAFC, Jocelyn Forsma, who now sits at a big shot youth global international something. Our friendship centers are filled with so many inspiring, brilliant, committed, and engaged young leaders. The future and the present of our movement are in good hands. Switch. I don't know whose phone this is, but you've been having messages the whole time. It didn't bother me. Lorsque l'on jette un regard sur la situation des Autochtones en milieu urbain, sur leur présence en milieu urbain, on se rend compte que de tout temps, les femmes ont occupé une place centrale. Le mouvement des centres d'amitié est un monde de femmes. Non seulement les femmes y sont-elles plus nombreuses, mais ce sont en très grande majorité des femmes qui occupent des fonctions stratégiques et des postes décisionnels clés, notamment à l'échelle des provinces et au national. D'ailleurs, pour la première fois de l'histoire de l'ANCA, tous les postes de l'exécutif national et celui de la PDG sont occupés par des femmes et représentent dans sa composition l'intergénérationnel, une caractéristique propre au mouvement. C'est à partir de la base, du grassroots de notre mouvement, que les capacités d'action et le rapport de force des femmes autochtones se développent, se mobilisent, sont valorisés et sont renforcés. La modernité autochtone se manifeste aussi par les femmes de notre mouvement qui s'affairent aujourd'hui à réconcilier un passé marqué par la colonisation pour faire place à un projet de société autochtone renouvelé, projet qui trouve appui dans une vision du progrès solidement ancrée dans une visée d'autonomie et d'autodétermination. At the Val-d'Or Native Friendship Center, the vision of urban Indigenous governance came when our community inaugurated its Eagle staff after 3 days of sacred ceremonies conducted by our elders, and that was on the summer solstice of June 21st, 2021. The Friendship Center's Eagle staff reflects the strength, courage, and honor of the Val-d'Or Indigenous community. The introduction of the Eagle staff at the center is part of a major effort to regenerate the Indigenous vision of autonomy and governance. Our center, a model of Indigenous community governance, offers a range of services tailored to the contemporary, urban reality and dynamic community. On the eve of our 50th anniversary, our center is pursuing its development with a decolonized vision of its services. That is, by taking into account and revitalizing Anishinaabe ways of being and understanding the world. The decolonization of services reflects the center's transformative intentions and engages non-Indigenous partners on the path of reconciliation. At our center, transformative intentions are driven by Indigenous agency. Indigenous agency refers to the collective capacity to take control of our own destiny, to reverse the course of colonization, and to propose alternative responses to injustices. Social innovation is also a vector of transformation that proposes sustainable responses to the social challenges facing our community members, such as social inequality, systemic racism, and homelessness. In welcoming the Eagle staff to the Friendship Center, our community is entrusted with a great responsibility, that of bearers of the Eagle staff and carriers of our vision of self-determination as a people. As Eagle staff carriers, we all share this privilege of accompanying our members, such as Victor, on the path of wellness, that of Mino Pima Ziziwin, and this in kindness, respect, and love. Ketchimigwich. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So I know everyone's looking into their agenda right now, and I know it says something, but we're just gonna forget what it says. We're a little technical difficulties. If anything, I'm the special guest, okay? So just keep that in mind. I'm kidding. So with that being said, great presentation, wonderful energy. I'm loving it all here. Everyone's looking like they're having fun. At the same time, we want to get you rejuvenated. The front desk has these little cubes that you can drop in your water. They got focus, boost, and wakefulness. I had like 6 boosts, so I apologize if that's starting to show right now. But at the same time, I feel like I could win bingo right now. I feel so good. Like, don't you guys feel that? Don't you feel the unity? I love it. Anyway, so we're gonna take a quick health break here. Keep an eye on your watches. Please come back for the next panel where we have the IYC. Go get some snacks, go have a cigarette, go call your mom, do what you need to do, and then come on back in. Thank you.